Good morning. Happy Pride Fest weekend. Happy beautiful June summer day. It's so good to see you all and our bounty of flowers here at the front. My name is Reverend Jill Braithwaite. I use she, her pronouns, and I serve this congregation as your minister. It is so good to see you all and be together on this morning. And now I invite Natalie to light our chalice as we speak together our chalice lighting words, which are printed in your order of service. Glory be to the earth and the wind. Glory be to the sun and the rain. Glory be to animals and children. Glory be to our holy flame, which calls us together as one.
And good morning again. I'm Natalie Fleury, and I am a member of your Board of Trustees, and in a couple of hours, if all goes as planned, I will be the president of the board. My pronouns are she and her. What a gift it is to gather together today on this gorgeous, gorgeous Flower Communion Sunday, both in person in Brookfield and online through live stream. It's so good to be together as a joyful community committed to spiritual growth, inclusion, and justice. We note that a substantial part of our gathered community are joining us from their homes or other places. Today is a multi-generational service, so we will be together for the entire service. It is also the annual meeting, which will begin at 11:15. We need at least 60 members to stay today because we have a very important vote about the East property. So please stay, hear a little bit about the year that we've had and some of the plans for the future. And we've got an election as well, so please stick around. We've got it scheduled again at 11:15, so those of you who are planning on going on to Pride and the Pride Parade will have plenty of time to get there. In keeping with our UU values, we honor the history of land on which we gather and be mindful of our responsibility to practice good relations with the indigenous people who have cared for this land for millennia. And today, the day of the 21st Milwaukee Pride Parade, know that we are a welcoming congregation to all. Here are a few other things to note as we settle into this time together. For any newcomers or visitors, please stop by the newcomer table near the door in the foyer after the service. We look forward to getting to know you. And if you're online and want more information, please email us at visitor@uucw.org. The activity table is available today for anyone who might find it beneficial to have their hands occupied during the service. And for those of you in the sanctuary, I'd ask you to take a look at the announcements included in the order of service. Those of you watching online can find most of the announcements through the e-news in your email or on the UUCW website where you clicked to get into the service. In the interest of time, I'm going to remind everyone again that the annual meeting is today at 11:15, and I'm going to trust that you will all take the time to look over the rest of the announcements. Now let's settle in for our time together.
Dear ones, we come in a variety of colors, shapes, and sizes. Some of us grow in bunches, some of us grow alone, some of us are cupped inward, and some of us spread ourselves out wide. Some of us are old and dried and tougher than we appear. Some of us are still in bud. Some of us grow low to the ground, and some of us stretch toward the sun. Some of us feel like weeds sometimes. Some of us carry seeds sometimes. Some of us are prickly sometimes. And all of us are beautiful. What a marvelous bouquet of people we are. Come, let us worship together. And now let's rise in body and or spirit and sing together hymn number 76, For Flowers That Bloom About Our Feet.
For flowers that bloom about our feet, for tender grass so fresh and sweet, for song of bird and hum of bee, for all things fair we hear or see. Giver of all, we thank thee. For blue of stream and blue of sky, for pleasant shade of branches high, for fragrant air and cooling breeze, for beauty of the blooming trees. Giver of all, we thank thee. For this new morning with its light, for rest and shelter of the night, for health and food, for love and friends, for everything thy goodness sends. Giver of all, we thank thee.
Good morning. I'm Dave Cicero. My pronouns are he and him. I'm the Director of Lifespan Religious Education here at Unitarian Universalist Church West. Today, our story for all ages is by a Milwaukee-based author, or Wisconsin-based author living in Milwaukee now, Lois Ehlert. It's called Planting a Rainbow. And we're reading it today with permission of HarperCollins Publishers. Every year, Mom and I plant a rainbow. In the fall, we buy some bulbs and plant them in the ground. We order seeds from catalogs and wait all winter long for spring to warm the soil and sprout the bulbs. Then it's time to go to the garden center to select some seedlings. We sow the seeds, set out the plants in soil, and watch the rainbow grow. And grow. And grow. We have some red flowers. If you know the name of some red flowers, why don't you just call them out? We have orange flowers. Call those out, sure. And some yellow blooms. And most of those I'm hearing called out are illustrated on this page here. We grow something green. Yeah. Ferns are the only thing listed here, but yep, those are good ideas too. And some blue flowers. Morning glories are our favorites at home. You can ask to see the picture of that. I make of the structure every year that they all grow on. We have some purple flowers too. All summer long, we pick them and bring them home. And when summer is over, we know we can grow our rainbow again next year. So when a rainbow of colors is made with flowers or paint swatches or the t-shirts on a well-organized group of people or stripes on a rainbow flag, it stands for the beauty, variety, and diversity of life. Rainbows are natural. They're wonderful. There's no need to fear them. Instead, let's embrace and enjoy them. Thank you for listening. And now the life cycle of flower gardens and of people contains at times both colorful blossoms and prickly thorns. We'll now recognize our shared joys and concerns together.
I invite you to take a deep breath with me now. To breathe in peace and breathe out love together in community. Center yourself and feel your connection to all that is, to the wellspring of the earth, to the cycle of life, to the ancestors who have gone before us. Feel the love and strength of this gathered congregation within, among, and beyond you. Each time we gather for worship, we affirm that we are not alone, but part of a larger humanity and part of the great interdependent web of all creation. This morning, we light a candle to send love and healing strength to all who are coping with illness, caring for loved ones, or living with grief. We light a candle to hold in care all those who are struggling with depression, addiction, or loneliness. And we light a candle of celebration with those who are achieving milestones, moving through transitions, and those bravely venturing into new beginnings. And finally, we light a candle to send strength and courage to all who are working to end oppressive systems and to bring about collective liberation. We know that we all do better when we all do better. May our communities be safe harbors of love and strength for all who are in need of them. And may we all be held in the heart of love, the big love that will not let us go. Blessed be, and amen. Now please remain seated and we'll sing together hymn number 78, Color and Fragrance, verses 1 through 4.
Color and fragrance, magical rhythm, sweet changing music will change us with them. Life within life, inner light, gentle starry heavens, worlds of all splendor, suns without number, new life and gender, wheel in a wheel with a light brightly glowing, moving in harmony, God's vision growing. Handful of pebbles, high mountain passes, depths of the ocean, dew on the grasses, great things and small with the light gently glowing, word of the wordless song, God's vision growing. Delicate beings, lacewing and sparrow, in field and forest, clover and yarrow, life greeting life with the light brightly glowing. None are too small to be God's vision growing.
Let's share in the story of the flower communion. Norbert Čapek was born in 1870 in what was then called Bohemia in Europe. Norbert was raised Catholic, and then at age 18, he discovered the Baptists, and he joined the Baptist Church and later became a minister. Over time, his faith became more and more liberal. Čapek grew up in troubled times in Europe. During World War I, his safety was threatened because he spoke out against those who tried to restrict freedom of worship for all people. So Norbert and his wife Maya came to the U.S., where he was called to serve a Baptist church in New York City. And then in 1919, in New York, Čapek discovered Unitarianism, the denomination that was Unitarianism at the time, before our two denominations combined to make Unitarian Universalism. And he became a Unitarian minister. Once the war ended, once World War I ended, Reverend Norbert wanted to return to share his love of Unitarianism with the people of his country, which was now called Czechoslovakia. So he and his family returned to Prague and started a brand new church, which grew steadily and over 20 years came to have 3,200 members. I believe Unitarianism was new in this area at the time. The war had left many, many miseries and a hard life for the people of Prague. Families had been broken up, had been great loss of life, businesses had been ruined. Many of his congregants didn't have enough money to meet their needs, as you can imagine. As I said, Unitarianism was new to Czechoslovakia at this time, and the worship service was very much unlike ours today. There were no stories, no music, and the sermons were very, very long. The church building was plain and cold in the bitter winters. But still people came because they were so eager to learn about Unitarianism, this new way to look at faith through the oneness of all things, through reason, through seeking the truth for ourselves. They were eager for worship, spirituality, connection, and hope as they tried to rebuild their lives. One day in 1923, Čapek went for a walk along the river Vltava, which winds through Prague. He wandered across the rivers, the many bridges that cross that river in the city, and he was thinking about how he might lift the spirits of his congregation, how he might offer hope in these tough times. Moments later, Chapek saw a flower growing in the bare and scuffed earth near the edge of the river. The beauty and the bravery of that little bloom lifted his spirits. He felt that feeling of lifted spirits, and he wanted to share that feeling with his congregation. But how? His church had no altar flowers, no gardens around it. Later that day, he ran into a small child from his congregation who smiled at him and held out a flower for him to take. Chapek smiled back with a happy heart, and he realized in that moment how he wanted to share this warm feeling with his congregation. It was spring, and there were flowers growing everywhere in Prague, in the parks, along the Vltava, even in the rubble still left from the war. Chapek spread the word to his congregation to bring a flower to the worship service that next Sunday. I'm sure he used Realm to send a reminder. And everyone did show up with a flower. There were stems of white daisies, yellow leopard's bane, the bright pink rockets of cyclamen, plump yellow clusters of primroses, deep blue gentians, pink-purple pasque-flower, and of course many, many roses, which are the national flower of Czechoslovakia. Chapek's church was one that was willing to think and speak freely, to take risks, to bear disappointments, to build its community, and to help build a better world, and to speak out against tyranny. Chapek was arrested by the Gestapo in 1942. The Nazis accused him of listening to foreign broadcasts and sent him to Dachau concentration camp. Even while enduring starvation and torture, Reverend Norbert Chapek held a flower ceremony with his fellow prisoners, finding whatever flowers they could among the weeds of the camp. They were testifying to a beauty larger than themselves and a love that held them and would outlive them. Chapek died in Dachau. His spirit, his courage, and his commitment live on in UU congregations just like this one right here. Chapek lives on in how we center love as our guide, in our commitment to reason and resistance and justice, and in our appreciation, our ever-abiding appreciation of beauty. We offer gratitude today for Reverend Norbert Chapek and for these enduring UU values that sustain us now and into the future. Blessed be. As we move toward our flower communion ceremony, I will first bless this bounty of flowers before us, using Reverend Norbert Chapek's original words of blessing. May these flowers, messengers of fellowship and love, be blessed. May they remind us, amid diversities of knowledge and diversities of gifts, to be one in desire and affection. May they also remind us of the value of comradeship, of doing and sharing alike. May we cherish friendship as one of life's most precious gifts. May we not let awareness of another's talents discourage us or sully our relationship, but may we realize that whatever we can do, great or small, the efforts of all of us are needed to do the work of love, justice, and peace in this world. And now in a few moments, I will invite you to come forward and take a flower or receive a flower from Natalie and me. We'll be down there by the table. Whichever way you prefer to have a flower to take with you, to receive one or to choose one. And as you choose or receive your flower, let it be a symbol of the grace and beauty, the joy and love that come to us in the strength of our diversity and in the strength of our community. And if by chance you did not bring a flower, take one anyway. This ceremony is for everyone. For our online participants, we invite you during this time to enjoy any beauty from the natural world that might be near to you. And now I invite you to please come forward and partake in this flower communion ritual. Thank you to all for participating in the flower communion ritual. I want to acknowledge that perhaps we were over-enthusiastic about coming in for a short service today to support our annual meeting. So I think there might be a little time between when we end and 11:15 when the annual meeting starts. So just a heads up about that. When you commit to 11 o'clock, you got to do it. And this concludes our flower communion ritual. Thank you all for being part of this beautiful Unitarian ritual, one of our great original rituals that we celebrate together.
Oh, I'm going to be compromised today. All right. Oops. All right. So I'm going to be doing some of this from memory because I didn't get the sheet printed up and put up here. So as you know, every Sunday we contribute a portion of undesignated offerings to a Split the Plate partner. And our Split the Plate partner for the month of June is Dreamers. And Dreamers focuses on students that need additional funding to help with their education. We had a representative here last week who spoke very eloquently about the program. They're committed to creating equitable opportunities and providing a space where undocumented student voices are heard. So please give generously. You can either give as the baskets go around, or you can also give online by texting UUCW to 73256, or go to uucw.org and click on the donate button and select Split the Plate. So we will now gratefully accept your offering.
And now we'll speak the words for dedicating our offering, which are printed in your order of service. To the work of this community, which is to ground ourselves in love and joy, and to act for inclusion and justice, we dedicate ourselves, and these are offerings. And now please rise in body and or spirit and we'll sing hymn number 63, Spring Has Now Unwrapped the Flowers.
Spring has now unwrapped the flowers, day is fast reviving, life in all her growing powers, toward the light is striving, on the iron touch of cold, winter time and frost time, seedlings working through the mold, now make up for lost time. Herb and plant that winter long slumbered at their leisure, now be stirring green and strong, find in growth their pleasure. All the world with beauty fills, gold the green and sing. Flowers make glee among the hills, set the meadow dancing.
Flowers remaining here in the front. Please take more flowers with you now and after the annual meeting, which I know so many of you are staying for. And so I offer these words to close our service today. May our lives reflect the beauty, justice, and joy that is possible in the world. May love be our guide, and may hope lift us together along the journey. May it be so. And one last word. I just found glitter from last week. And I will be dispensing glitter blessings during the annual meeting, if you stay. Blessed be and amen.